Hello, hello. Welcome to The Sober Grit. Myself, Donette. My husband,
Mark.
If you know us from before, it was a sober shit show. We had to kind of step back, readjust, and reevaluate. And here we are now as The Sober Grit. To be honest, the sober shit show I felt was just a little bit negative. Listen, life is a shit show. We all know it. We live it every day, right? The whole point is to spread hope and inspiration. And to those struggling, maybe on the fence, about to go back out, whatever the case may be, with addiction, mainly sobriety, alcohol, not sobriety. I'm already kidding. Anyways, we had to step back. We had to reevaluate. We've had a lot of shit go on since the beginning of this year. I guess really going for me many years, but this year started off pretty rough. And I know there's a lot of things that we might have said, like, we'll get into it, But here we are. We're going to talk about our biggest reason for doing all this, and this is our son and just the shit that we've gone through with it. Without further ado, hubby. Also, the thing with us, two different approaches, right? I'm definitely the more feeling and let's talk about it. And he's like, just fucking get it done. It doesn't matter. Let's do it. But our goal is the same, that is to stay sober. And so far, we actually just made our 3 years on May 2nd. So
that we did.
Yeah, we have 3 years sober now. So even throughout all of this that has been going on, if that just holds, if that gives hope to anyone, then we're doing something fucking right with our life. So, all right, without further ado, honey, let's start off how this year's been going.
Well, one for the books, absolutely. So much to start and begin with. New paths, changing paths. We made a huge decision to actually start the process of looking for a group home for our nonverbal, severely special needs son. And so we started doing that. That was a giant hurdle for us to admit that per se we can no longer take care of our son, because that was basically the furthest thing from that. Our hands were tied on very many things when it came to our son, but what our hands were not tied on, we did above and beyond, and no one can ever take that from us. But we started the process to look for a group home for him, which that is not an easy process to begin with. You have to write this letter.
Crisis letter. You gotta write a fucking crisis letter. Begging and pleading your case, and the more details, the better.
Yeah, but that's the garbage part of it. So we start that process, and then
January 16th.
Yep.
January 16th, I filed the paperwork. See, I came prepared. Filed the paperwork January 16th.
Yeah. So with that being right there, all those feelings, all that guilt, remorse, is this the right thing? Is it going to be right? Just everything underneath the sun.
And
times a million. Her father, my father-in-law, decides to have a stroke.
I don't think you really fucking decided to here. It was like, hey, you know what? Today seems like the day. I know what you mean.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
Throw that on top, but once again, we're strong people, and no matter how hard we get hit, we just bounce up and we keep fighting. So now we have our father living with us that is needing us more than ever before to
He's the biggest child of them all.
to do everything. So
Biggest child of them all. Love my daddy though. However, he's gotten better.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
he's
no, a
we
million
can actually,
times
yeah.
better.
I mean, he's still definitely, seeing somebody go from completely independent one day and
Needing
the
us for
next
everything.
day, yeah. And I mean, coming, he was in the rehab for a month, so it was February 5th. January 16th, filed the paperwork, months process. We knew this, it wasn't going to be overnight. So in the midst of all this, February 5th is when he decided to, have a stroke. And that was, he calls us, he was literally walking sideways. Listen, I know a lot more about strokes now than before. I beg anyone, if you have any concern or anything, please call.
911
Yeah,
right away, no matter what.
Yeah, father thought
Anybody
it was
says.
vertigo. Nothing was drooped. Everything was normal. But there were many, many different signs. So,
Hey, we just did a PSA.
hey, look at us go. So yeah, that was crazy. But he was in the hospital for about a week and then rehab for 3
Yep.
weeks. And yeah. During that time, it was a waiting game with many interviews, and everybody we had to talk to
No.
the same story over and again. And and the story was that, well, we can't, basically our son is too fucking aggressive. That's what it comes down to. He's, for any of you that knows us personally or might have seen something on social media, our son is tiny. He is about 70 pounds, but this, we try to explain it, and we've come up with, our life was like Twilight Zone meets Groundhog Day, and this was written by Steven Spielberg and directed by Rob Zombie. Now, neither one of them did this, please, much respect to you guys all, but this is how fucking crazy our shit is, that y'all need to be a part of this script, because, I mean, seriously, can't even fucking write it. No, but sincerely, all jokes aside, I never, ever, ever thought, and I always said that I would never have Destin outside of my care. He's nonverbal. He's about 1 year old level, realistically, with his, functions and such. And, but when you have somebody that every day, from the moment he wakes up, I mean, and there was some days it was getting to the point where it was like an infant all over again. His sleep schedule was fucking wild. 2:30 in the morning, about a month or so. Now it was about 2.5, 3 months ago. 2:30 in the morning.
Yep.
That was the record. It was not uncommon for about 4, 5. That was the norm, and from there he'd stay up, and and when he gets up, he's not happy. I don't know why. We have tried everything. We have done everything. We have changed this. We've, added we've done it. But I think he was too comfortable.
Yeah.
I think he was too comfortable with us. But he would wake up and he would just start attacking. And with my father having a stroke, also before my father had a stroke, he done pulled him on the fucking ground twice.
Yeah.
Thank God one of the times he ran towards the door and not the road because it was outside. So, things were just getting scary, and not safe. And, my hubby said, it was a hell of a, for me, it was a hell of a defeat to say, okay, we can no longer care for our son, we have, it was hard then. I have gone through hell emotions, lot of
Ups and
healing.
downs.
Yeah. And he has now been in his new home for a week and a half. Monday it was a week, so it's all still very new, but everything's going good so far. But the pill to swallow was, we have taken him as far as we could. Our son is severely special needs. The aggression, he would walk up to you and smile and hug you and be the sweetest. Would you say he's so sweet, he'll give you a cavity?
Yeah.
And it's true, and I mean, and but in the same breath, he's clawing you, he's, scratching you. Walking up to my dad, who's in a hospital bed, and just ripping out his beard. Our middle son, he was asleep one morning, and our oldest decided to just, he literally, blood.
Freddy Krueger'd his ass.
Blood, just clawed his face. And this wasn't uncommon for, us to be just sitting around or sitting watching TV, whatever. If we were not looking at him in full, attention on him, then he would make sure that you would have it one way or another. So now he is in a nice, safe home, filled with staff that is ready to just be there for him. And every video call we get, every time, we're allowed to pop up anytime. Unfortunately, he is at the highest level of care. That's our boy. So they are few far between. It's a little further than we'd like. However, it is a very good one. Very good. So, what else we got? Oh, yeah. So, getting into the sober grit, it's having to push through all of this shit and not drink, no matter, by any means necessary. You want to talk about wanting to fucking numb and run? Oh, I think for me it was to the point, I know when shit's going really bad in my life, and I know when I don't just want to drink, I literally want to disappear in the bottle. That is when it is absolutely life or death. That is when I have to really dig deep and remind myself and play those tapes that this is the moment that if I do pick up, I am going to disappear in that bottle, and I might disappear to a place that I can't come back from. So, what you got, babe?
Yeah, absolutely. Easy. Dead exact same feelings. I mean, they're... At this point, there is no... I just want a drink to feel just a little different. I just want a couple drinks to feel numb. No, at this point in my journey, if I want to drink, I'm not going to be found, period, whether it's by choice or not. I can guarantee you I will not be found.
Yeah, like the way I'm going out is like fucking insane. Like, there's just too much shit emotionally for us. And it's crazy because, with that being said, most people, when they quit drinking, they get, things get better in life. Things get, happier and calmer and more peaceful because they don't have the insanity of the alcohol. And, yes, you have to deal with the internal shit, which is not easy. However, you don't have the alcohol there and things get better. However, for us, and this, he fucking signed up for this. Like we did everything wrong in sobriety, but right. We started dating actually after my first 3-month relapse. I hate saying this, but we will get into that. We're going to have to talk about how our journey of sobriety and all that. So that's going to be a whole nother fucking episode because that's a lot. However, we did get together very early in recovery. We did know each other for a while before, however. And then we got married on our year anniversary, a year later. So we're about to celebrate 3 years married, 4 years together. The end of this month, a matter of fact. So he signed up for this shit. Like, this crazy motherfucker said, hey, I know about you and your son, and I know he's fucking wild. And guess what? I'm here for you. Whoa. I'm not gonna cry. But yeah, so he's fucking crazy. That I don't understand, Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that now, other than you're crazy. Fucking crazy. We signed up for this shit. Oh, early recovery, did everything wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
No, we did.
Why'd you do it?
We did
Fucking
everything
too.
wrong, but right, because
We're still here.
we broke all the rules, but we used all of our tools. We surrounded ourselves with like-minded. We held each other accountable. We always had a support system.
Yeah.
We
wanted it. We
Right.
want it. We still want it. Like, we want to stay sober because we know where the fuck it goes.
Right. So we used every tool we were
did.
supposed to.
We leaned on each other and we had that.
Absolutely.
That's what I was saying about Destin. So, like, most of the times when people stop drinking, shit just gets, it gets ultimately better. Yeah, life still happens. Yes, there's still things. But on a day-to-day basis, it is better. That was not our fucking life. Like, and the older that our son got, the worse it absolutely got. Again, he's been around for 4 years, and let me just say, somebody to step up as a father to a child that is nonverbal and literally he's watching this little dude like beat the shit out of me, and listen, I got some fucking hands, but when you're trying to protect yourself and not hurt your baby and fucking, like, it's crazy. Like, I'm telling you, man, it's like the little fucker, he just starts attacking. He's a little tiny thing, and and he'll be on the floor, like, you have to kind of, like, push him away, and it's just fucking crazy. But our life didn't get calmer, and this was every single day. Like, this progressively got worse. He wasn't very physical. I'd say about 5 years ago, it started little by little, more of the grabbing. But within the past year or so, and that was heartbreaking because I actually left my job, my career. I started school back again in my mid-30s. I was a fucking drunken mess, but I did it. I started back. By the time I graduated, I was sober. I went for human services, got my bachelor's. The fuck way graduated with high honors. But so much of all of that was, I positioned myself in my life because I didn't want to be a hypocrite, right? Like, I knew that at one day I needed to be sober, and I knew I needed to be for my, our son. But with all that, it's like our life every day, every fucking day was just insane. From the time we woke up, and depending on when that was, sometimes it was at hours that were just not normal, or it was, 6:37 in the morning. Okay, we can take that, but you're waking up, so literally, whether we wake him up, he wakes us up, whoever beats us to the punchline, screaming, and him and I start arguing at each other.
For nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Because
for zero.
Because there's just fucking screaming everywhere, and fuck, and it's not a way to, it's not fair to any of us.
I'm pretty sure we argued one morning over coffee. Literally, one of us getting fucking coffee. We were arguing over that bullshit. That's to the petty level bullshit it got to, because we were just fucking hanging, trying to grasp a string that was passing by, just to hold on.
Yeah, just try to make it to the next moment. Thank God he had a day facility that he went to, and even that, every day, God forbid they called, oh my God, we have to go pick him up. He was on his brink there. Our son pushed over a baby in a high chair. Thank God she's okay. Thank God. But he legitimately walked up and because he wanted through the door. It wasn't really trying to hurt her, but he wanted through the door, and if he wants something, it doesn't matter, this past week, it's been fucking crazy. So again, leading up to all that stuff, and I talked a little bit about mental health and sobriety, and again, things are supposed to get peaceful, things are supposed to get better. So last year I leave my career. I graduated in 2020 with my bachelor's in human services. I had a rough road getting into the field because I have a felony for drugs. Go figure, right? Usually the name of the game. back in the day, back in the day, God, it sounds so long ago. It sounds great. It used to be that, as I was told, people like me, and yes, air quoting, people like me, or us, that, they love having people in recovery and such in the field. However, now we're in a day and age that they want perfect people in recovery. Because I had a hell of a time because I cannot pass a level 2 background. I tried fighting ACA. It was absolutely a nightmare. Basically, I need a lawyer. Too broke for a lawyer because we've been caring for a severely disabled son for 19 years. So, finally got into this place. Honestly, it was a fantastic place. There was a lot of huge roller coasters with that shit. Fucking crazy roller coasters, but it was phenomenal. Many people believed in me, and I had a position made for me just to excel because in that place it was a luxury treatment center. If anybody happens to, recognize, but I'm just kidding.
Dude,
I know. Seen a few people, but no, seriously. And I had, anyways, Destin was getting crazy. School, we were getting calls every day from school. If he wasn't in school, he was in PPAC. I mean, the behavior was just fucking insane. I step out of that. I'm going to try to make this short because we are trying to make it to 30 minutes. So, I end up stepping away from the career because, for one, I was going insane with that, like every day coming home or starting off the day with Destin, going and helping, which I absolutely love to do. But I mean, I'm helping 40 addicts. I was a lead on the floor, and holy shit, you want to talk about fucking entitlement? All right, like Jesus Christ. So anyways, and then coming home to Destin, I was at a breaking point. I decided that if it was my job or Destin, I'm taking care of our son. He just started his business. Things were going great. I stepped away after I get a raise. However, it was what was needed at the time. However, Destin, I think that's when he just got absolutely worse. And it was heartbreaking. It's like, okay, I'm here for you more, and this is...
You're treating me worse.
Yeah, and, and that's where, this is normal, and, and I have to keep reminding myself that I am his safe place, and because I'm the safe place, he knows that he can react in certain ways. And this, again, it's normal, especially for, special needs. And so I step out of my career, start caring for him, and my mental health took a shit. I also lost 2 very dear friends within a month and a half of each other.
Yep.
Right after, literally, like, about a month after I stepped away because he was supposed to go to Destin's graduation. And a couple days before. So, and both drugs and alcohol, and that was really fucking hard pill to swallow. Really, really fucking hard pill to swallow. Especially since one was so persistent in our life, and he relapsed. And that was it. So, he had been doing good for so long, and that's the story for so many, right? However, my mental health, it was so hard to navigate. Not wanting to live, but also not wanting to drink. Because I knew a fuck about, I knew I wanted to go to the bottom of the bottle. And, I knew if I did that, the thoughts in my head would happen. They would absolutely happen. And then, it was just to a point, I don't want to drink. I don't want to just be laying here drunk. I don't want to just have a drink and numb it away. I want to fucking, and everyone's like, oh, you got to be here for your son. What about your son? And he was coming with me. That's what people don't get. Bro, the plans that, I had plans. This shit, it was bad. And then my husband, his business, he's, we're getting good jobs. And, he doesn't know if he's going to fucking leave and come back to find me dead. So there's that. So how was all that for you last year? Fuck.
It was definitely up and down. Mm-hmm. But... wouldn't change anything. Wouldn't, because it is true. If you fight for what you love, it truly is worth it every time. The the reward is better than anything money could possibly buy. It's love is the best tool when used right, because it will get you through everything you need. And
There was a lot of self-sabotage, though,
There
from
was.
both of us.
there was.
Sorry to cut you off. I love positive, but I mean, at the same time, like, yeah, love is what stuck you through and kept you going, but, like, it was, you know, like, you had to literally make that choice, too, and I guess it was love, but sacrifice the career, and she, like,
No, I did, because it needed to be done.
I
It
guess
had
was
to
out
be
of
done.
love conquers all.
When it is used right, absolutely. We love drinking.
Boo.
Wrong way of using it. You use it right, it is the ultimate weapon. But no, it was hard. It sucked. Having to concentrate on not getting hurt at work, falling off of whatever this, because fuck good am I with a broken leg, broken neck. I can't protect anybody, can't protect myself, can't help with anything. Fucking useless. Now I'm on pills, chasing it with a bottle of vodka, and here we go.
Round and round the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel.
May as well go ahead and punch my card.
Yeah.
I'm done. So,
But again, I mean, we were new in recovery. This was, you know, you were new with Destin. Like I said, I'd been going through this for years, but I mean, maybe that was the balance that fucking helped. Maybe because I was at my breaking point and you were coming in fresh, but you also were watching. You know, it got to the point at the end I couldn't be home without Destin, without you, because the way he was attacking you. So you're having to see this little boy that you love beat the shit out of everyone, including your kids.
and it was all the process. You have to trust the process. Everything happens for a reason, whether we like it or not. We can't change it. And when we do, it usually never turns out good for us. You can't fucking always control the show.
It's like
You
the
just-
butterfly effect.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we all just have to work on trusting the process. It's the hardest, absolute hardest fucking thing in the universe to do, because that relies on patience and all that other fancy shit that she talks about and all the positive people talk about. I don't have patience per se. I have, like she said, get it done. Get it done and make it happen by any fucking means necessary. That is your grit, your will to live and survive. You got to survive before you can live. It's a process. It's a journey. We don't get to just snap our fingers and shit changes. It's not the way we want it like that. We've done so long of so much stuff that we will be lucky if in our lifetime we can do enough right to correct it. But out of love and grit, you get it the fuck done because you want to. Because that's what you are thriving for.
Yeah.
To be a better person than you were, than we were. Not you,
Yeah.
we, us, all of us. It's a struggle. It is an everyday struggle, whether you want to pick up or not. That's not the biggest struggle. Every day, just a normal day.
This world.
Exactly.
Fucking
Some
world.
days are better than others, and some days are a shit ton worse than others. But it's another day that we get to be a better person than we were the day before. Because yesterday doesn't matter, and tomorrow ain't promised. We got right now, we got today. We got the people around us.
Yeah.
Don't chase them. Don't beg them. Live your life and be the best person.
Just be better than you were the day before. Focus on that, you know. But I think I think kind of wrapping up with that, which I wasn't gonna really do, but you know, our son's in a place where he's happy, and our hopes is that he thrives. You know, that's also normal for this. I mean, he's 19. You know, it's time to go off and be on his own. And he's doing great. And it's been a week and a half, and this week and a half has been it's been great. You know, and I can only imagine. Here comes the tears. I get through it. I can only imagine how beautiful, I'm going to speak at least for myself, mine, but probably our sobriety would have been with this piece. And I say that because, again, we were in a situation very different from the average, and we made it. We fucking made it through. You know, we made it to the end because also... I also was very aware, and you know, and this goes for all of you, anybody out there with children, it takes one wrong decision, and they're coming in and they're taking your children from you. With parents of a special needs child, that likelihood is a lot higher, for multiple different reasons, and unfortunately, not all of them are the good ones. But we. By being sober for the last 3 years, almost 4, we had to reset another show. However, 3 years solid. Had we not stayed sober that fucking 3 years, we would not have been in a position to find our son a nice home. We would not be in a position to sign the paperwork so we can go see him anytime we want and all that. But we got sober. And that's what we did. We did all this with choice and with clarity, and as there was a lot of pain and there was a lot of craziness, you know, we got to do it sober, and we didn't have somebody come in and take our kid because of some stupid fucking decision. And I am so sorry for anybody who has. Trust me, I'm not, using that loosely. But that was my biggest fear. And that was my biggest reason to stay sober. So, getting back to the piece, though, listen, if we can fucking make through all of that, I'm telling you, man, there's hope. You gotta dig deep some days, deeper than others.
we got a fighting chance.
And I'm telling you, it's all up here. I promise you, you've got to catch those thoughts. You've got to see the way you're talking to yourself. That's the shit that he hates me always talking about, but it's true, We're our own worst critics, and once we can be our biggest cheerleaders, that's when the beauty happens. It does, I know. Meditating, all that fun. No, but seriously, guys, there's a little tidbit into what we've been going through since the beginning of the year. And again, we just had our 3-year mark. So I fucking promise, if we can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we will be back.
Sooner than later?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not in the normal background. Oh, okay. New shit going on. We're working on a podcast thing, so I have the recording down here, but I did notice that I think I muffled the microphone. So we'll see how that goes. Everything we've been trying to set up, something keeps coming up, and we're just saying, you know what, we're going to just keep doing this, and we're not giving up, and that's part of our grit, too. If we can just help one person watching us and our story and our journey, then our job is done, so. All right. Until the next time.
Till next time, y'all.